On today's podcast, the Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions, and I think this could start a great hockey debate. More on that later. We'll also fire up another round of hobby hot takes, so relax and welcome back to episode 404 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow, presented by Upper Deck.
It's a Gong Show Super Show.
Gentlemen, Dave,
Yes,
half the show's gone. So
I know. What's going on?
I don't know. I guess we'll sink this ship a little quicker then between the two
Yeah,
of us.
we got the JV lineup, the three of us. So
Heck yeah.
we'll
Speaking
do our
of the
best.
three, we brought in our Discord hobby darling from behind the bench.
That's right.
He'll
Oh,
help us. We got Neil, Irish Flyers collector.
What's up?
What's going on? This studio is so much nicer than mine. Look at this. My
Woo.
studio smells like government cheese and stale beer. This one's so nice.
We do it right.
We're called up to the big leagues.
That's right.
Get called up.
Yep.
Well, thanks for helping us out here, Neil.
Sure, happy to.
Need to have a little more banter, because I say so much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I'm very long-winded.
Are you gonna play your own hobby hot take then when you give a one-word answer and you're gonna hit the
I don't have a button.
I
because
suppose I could.
we have no control, so you're gonna have to do it to yourself.
I guess
So,
I'm going to have to hot take myself.
that's right. That's right.
Dave, you had a story of your week.
Yeah, my week's been crazy. So we are in the process of listing our house, which means crazy, crazy work. So I spent the last couple of weekends and basically the front of this week painting, texturing walls, painting. Every single time I move a piece of furniture, I find a new hole in a wall and I have to get the drywall mud out and redo it and texture it and paint it. So painting walls, baseboards, we put in carpet today. So there's brand new carpet. My office smells so good. You know, that new carpet smell?
Isn't it amazing what goes into selling a house?
Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Just yesterday, we spent the entire day moving every piece of furniture out of the bedrooms. And then the carpet guys came, put it in, and then we started moving everything back. And I had to move all my stuff in my office back, my desk, and get it all set up. I literally sat down like 2 minutes. I had like 2 minutes to spare before we started recording. So it's been just like a panic to get everything ready to go. So it's been wild, but yeah, we're listing our house in a week from today. So
I'll give you credit, Dave. At 50, I'm like, I don't want to move because of that. I don't want to. I'm like, I got stuff. I got things. I don't want to bother with it. I give you credit, buddy.
It's going to be an adventure. And, most of the reason why we're doing it is because my wife's entire family lives in Utah. So we're going to go. She wants a year. She wants a year to go and just be the best aunt and the best sister and just hang out with her family. I'm going to be fishing, adventuring,
The worst uncle. The worst
water
brother-in-law.
skiing, snow skiing. I already bought my Icon Pass. Yeah, I'm not helping out. Like, that's her side of the family.
You're gonna change your name. You're gonna become Utah Dave.
No, always California Dave. Plus, it's only for a year. It's only for a year, and then I'll be back in California after a year. So, still California Dave. So, yeah.
Anything to report, Neil?
No, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot here. I've talked about my stuff in the last couple of weeks in my episodes, but kids are graduated. We're in a summer mode. Kind of hit the heat wave has hit where it's killed the lawn, which I'm happy with. No mowing every 5 days. So pretty quiet right now.
Cruise
now that all the
control.
chaos is over.
We're gonna have stuff to mow around here. It's been 60s, 65, 70 for the last 3-4 days. Rain, yuck,
Oh yeah.
gross, cold. So whatever.
Fun.
We press on.
Press on.
Let's move on into Gong Show breaks. Guys, we're at it again Saturday night, and spots had opened up yesterday. So if you are ready to get in on it, get over to gongshowbreaks.com. We've thrown in a 25-26 Upper Deck Extended 12-box Master Case Hit Select. Well,
Nice.
That was already there. There's 14 spots left in that. But we got the GP buybacks, repack mixer, It's team random. Then we'll go on a little Bedard hunt. Why not, right? 23-24 Upper Deck Clear Cut. We'll do a 15-box case
Ooh.
team random. And then if
My
that's
jam.
not... Yeah, well, here, you do this one. Go after another Celebrini. We'll do a
All right.
Celebrini hunt. We threw in a
Yeah.
24-25 Upper Deck Clear Cut case team random for that. And the 23-24 SP Game Used inner case. And, of course, O-Pee-Chee Platinum. My favorite 8-box master case team random for that. So that should be super, super fun.
You guys have been hitting some big cards every week, so it's been fun to watch and see what you guys hit.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool to see what's been coming out of these boxes. So you,
What did you hit last week? It was I remember it was like an acetate young gun, but I can't remember who it was.
Carlson.
Leo
Right?
Carlson?
Oh, no.
So-
Washington
No,
Capitals.
okay, was it Ryan Leonard?
Ryan
Oh,
Leonard.
Ryan Leonard. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I had to think.
Yeah, that's a
What I
big
win?
one.
What I win?
Yes, you win. You win a prize.
I know we hit another, believe it or not, acetate in the next case, but that one I have no idea who it was. It was kind of a no-namer.
knower name guy.
Yeah, but you know, you don't want to talk big here. You know, it'd be cool if you said that box after box you hit an acetate, but it's pretty sweet. 2 acetates and 2 cases back to back.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, Dave,
Oh,
any insight on what we can expect tomorrow night?
No plan, no script, no filter, no fill.
yeah.
Phil
Well,
should
we
be
will
back
have
though,
Phil.
right? Yeah.
Phil will be back, so he will not be on. He won't be vacation Phil. He'll be Ottawa Phil. As far as a plan, a script, a filter, all that stuff, to be honest with you, I'm just as shocked as everyone else when we go through the show because I literally have no idea what we're going to talk about, whether there's going to be a game. Most of the time I don't know. Well, sometimes I get a guest. I have actually put some feelers out. I don't want to say any names, but we might have a guest. We'll see. It's kind of in the works. But yeah, come join us. It's always a good time. You never know what Phil's going to do. You never know if he's going to crack a PSA 10 slab like he did last week. So with a pair of bolt cutters. So I mean, there's always something that goes down. So I'm guessing he'll have time to prepare a game, and those are always kind of fun. And we'll just show cards. I got some mail. I don't know if I'm showing this, but this came for me yesterday.
Ooh.
Which is for Phil, of course. It's not for me. It's his Comp C order. So I don't know if I'm opening that and going through those, or I'm not sure. So just come and find out.
My Comp C order finally is going to ship in like 2 days. That I told them to ship it to me in March.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
They're very known for being on time with their shipments.
Mhm.
Sure.
Takes a couple months. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. One final note here. This show, The Gong Show, is a Patreon podcast, and we do rely on you, the good listener and watcher, to help us cover expenses and continue to produce more and better hockey card content. We also would like to grow this hobby a little bit more. So anything you can do to help, we appreciate it. You can support this show for as little as $5 a month, and you can be one of the first out of $9.99 support tier supporters, and forever have that Future Watch Gong Show title. Even though Josh's dad Jay doesn't like it,
He does not.
he does not like that.
But he doesn't.
You
Get
also,
it.
no, he just doesn't. He doesn't get
Yeah,
it. It doesn't make sense.
But that's okay. That's not Jay's thing.
No,
We love Jay.
we do. You also get exclusive access to the Gong Show Discord. You'll have insider access and you'll be able to participate with our show community of lonely men. Maybe you're lovely,
Lovely, lonely.
whatever.
There's a few women, right?
Well,
Maybe?
lovely women. How about that then?
There's
You-
two.
Now,
Maybe.
see, now you got me all sidetracked here while I'm trying to read through this here.
Sorry.
You get to participate in fantasy hockey if you choose. There's a 5K challenge, there's a scavenger hunt, and a bunch more. You get access to our Discord exclusive show, Behind the Bench, with this guy, Neil, Irish Flyers collector. If you've already become a patron member and are not in the Discord, maybe you haven't gotten around to it, or the link didn't work, message us if you're having any issues. We want you in. And finally, gentlemen, we got 2 new patrons of the $9.99 support tier this week. First one, Red.
Red.
Red. Welcome. And Tom Esch, I'm going to go with.
Esh.
Yeah.
Go with that one.
Tom.
We'll give
Tom.
that- Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks,
Welcome,
Tom.
both of you.
Hmm.
You know, my favorite part of your Discord show there, Neil, is when you
end?
interview the
Son
is when you interview the Discord members. It's always really cool to kind of get to know them a little better. Those
Yep.
are my favorite episodes.
Good. I'm glad you like them. I enjoy doing them. I feel guilty. Not guilty. I feel privileged to do those because I get to meet everybody, direct, and we talk for a few minutes beforehand. So it is very fun. Those are some of my favorite episodes too because I just keep the show notes with my interview questions, and then however the conversation goes directs the process. So it's a lot of fun. I appreciate that. So
Yeah.
I always appreciate everybody who puts themselves out of their comfort zone to come on the show and share their takes. But thank you. Appreciate that.
Hmm.
Those are
Yeah.
fun ones.
I think that was a hot hitter for you to decide to do that and get people on there so we can all see.
Yeah.
Man, before I move on, I just want to let everybody know that if you want to be part of our Patreon, you can go to hockeycardsgongshow.com or go directly to Patreon and search for Hockey Cards Gong Show. Now, Louis, yes, are you ready for the game plan? I am. Let's get started with that game plan.
I'm going to sleep.
On the show today, we're going to start with get to know your Hall of Famers. Then we get into some more hobby hot takes. After that, we'll follow up with is there a new NHL team blueprint? Then we'll get into some hobby news. Then I just have a quick little snippets on some new product release things. And we will finish up with personal pickups.
All right.
All right. So, gentlemen, we're going to get rolling with our Get to Know Your Hall of Famer series. It's where we profile every single Hockey Hall of Fame player that's ever lived. We started with the first Hall of Fame class way back in 1945 and have since been working our way to present day. Today's Hall of Famer is from the class of 1977. I do know the name, but I do not know anything about him. It is Marcel Pronovost. Is that right? Did I say that? Well, I shouldn't ask Dave. Neil, did I say that
don't
right?
ask me.
Pronovost. Yes. That
I'll
would be
say it
correct in my opinion. Pronovost.
Yeah.
4 times and I'll pronounce it exactly the same way, but for some reason I'm trying to pronounce it in 4 different ways. But Marcel Pronovost.
Pronovost.
Yeah.
All right.
See?
Don't
Oh, no.
don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, don't break something.
Right? All right. Joseph René Marcel Pronovost lived from 1930 until passing away at the age of 84 in 2015. He was born in, we're just going to go with Quebec, and passed away in Windsor, Ontario. He was a left-handed defenseman. He was 5'11" and 180 pounds. And a career that lasted from 1949 until 1970. Pronovost played for 2 teams, the Detroit Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs. In 1,206 career NHL games, he produced 88 goals, 257 assists for 345 points, and, like to throw down a little bit, 851 penalty minutes.
There you go.
In 134 playoff games, he scored 8 goals, totaled 31 points, and tacked on 104 more penalty minutes. During his career, Pronovost was named an NHL first-team All-Star selection 2 times, and second-team All-Star selection 2 times. He played in 11 All-Star games, and his name is on the Stanley Cup 8 times.
Well, that's why you're in the Hall of Fame right there.
I think so.
That
do
should
it.
do it.
5 times as a player and 3 times as a scout. Now, Marcel ended his career as a player coach for the Tulsa Oilers of the Central Hockey League. From there, Marcel would spend a number of years as an NHL scout, which I always thought would be a fun gig.
It would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Travel around
Travel.
and check out talent.
Agree. Now,
That would be-
why you should care. Marcel, he was one of 12 kids, and two of his brothers, Claude and Jean, also made it into the NHL. His path to Detroit, though, almost didn't happen, as a Red Wings scout was actually there to watch someone else at the Quebec tournament. But another player, Larry Wilson, told him, "You should really take a look at this kid." And from there, that recommendation changed everything. What's interesting is that Pronovost actually started out as a forward before moving back to defense. You can kind of see that in the way he played. He wasn't just a stay-at-home defenseman. He could skate, move the puck, and wasn't afraid to jump into the rush. He broke into the Red Wings during the 1949-1950 season, which was about as tough a time as you could imagine. There were only 6 NHL teams, so earning a roster spot meant you were one of the best players in the world. And he couldn't have landed in a better or tougher place. Detroit was loaded with legends like Gordie Howe, Ted Lindsay, Red Kelly, Terry Sawchuk, Sid Abel, and Alex Delvecchio, so nothing was handed to him. As a rookie, he got to experience winning right away. The Red Wings captured the Stanley Cup in 1950, giving Pronovost his first of what would eventually be 5 cups. Over the next few years, he became one of Detroit's most trusted defensemen. Maybe he wasn't always the headline, but coaches knew exactly what they had in him. He even earned the nickname Detroit's Flying Frenchman, which tells you he wasn't just a bruiser. He had wheels, he could carry the puck, and he played a much more offensive style than a lot of defensemen from that era, which we're starting to see kind of be the key thing nowadays in the game, offensive defensemen. So Detroit kept on rolling, and so did Marcel. He won more Stanley Cups in 52, 54, and 55, giving him 4 in just 6 seasons, which we probably can call one of the greatest dynasty runs in the NHL, even today. One reason he doesn't always get talked about, though, is because of who he played with. Like I'd said before, you're sharing a locker room with Gordie Howe, Terry Sawchuk, Red Kelly, Ted Lindsay. It's easy for even a Hall of Famer to get overlooked being around those guys. If there was one word that defined Marcel, it was toughness. By his early 30s, he'd taken hundreds of stitches, broken his nose multiple times, broken both wrists, separated his shoulder, and even played through a cracked vertebra.
Tough guy.
Jeez.
Wow. And when people asked him about it, his attitude was basically, "That's hockey." All right. He
most
once
hockey
described
info.
it as a game of men, and that's exactly how he approached every night. But toughness wasn't the only reason he stood out. He was also one of the league's elite defensemen. He made the NHL's second All-Star team in 58 and 59, and the first in 60, and again in 62. Now remember, this was the 6-team NHL. Being named one of the league's top defensemen meant you beat out an incredibly small and incredibly talented group. There was nowhere to hide. You either were good or you weren't. Over his career, like I said earlier, he appeared in 11 All-Star games and finished in the top 5 for the Norris Trophy several times. He never won the award, but year after year, he was considered one of hockey's best. Then, in 1965, after spending almost his entire career in Detroit, he was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs in a 8-player deal. Funniest part about this is, like a lot of players back then, he found out he'd been traded by hearing it on the radio before anyone from the teams actually reached out to him.
That's crazy.
Ouch.
How does that even happen? Like, they do the deal and they let reporters know before they tell the players? That's just insane. Like, how does that happen? Crazy.
I don't know, but That can't be easy. Oh, I guess I'm leaving. Huh.
Yeah.
So instead of fading late in his career, he found a second life in Toronto. During the 65-66 season, he became just the 7th player in NHL history to reach 1,000 regular season games, another huge accomplishment, especially in that era. Then came the 1966-67 season. Toronto's veteran roster was named the Over the Hill Gang. Everybody thought they were too old, but all that experience paid off in the playoffs. Pronovost played a huge role in that cup run. He even scored a shorthanded goal in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final against Montreal before the Leafs wrapped things up in Game 6. That 5th Stanley Cup made him part of 2 of hockey's greatest championship teams, the powerhouse Red Wings of the 50s and the 67 Maple Leafs, who, amazingly, are still Toronto's most recent champions. Sorry,
Yes,
had to put that in there.
Just had to throw that in there.
That's right.
When you look back at the career of Marcel Pronovost, he might not have been the flashiest superstar of his generation, but was one of the most respected defensemen in the original 6 era. 5 cups, 11 All-Star games, over 1,000 NHL games, and eventually a well-deserved spot in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And boys, that's a career anybody could be proud of, and that is Marcel Pronovost.
Nice.
Marcel. Very good, Lou.
Yeah. Heck of it. It's, I don't know, it'd be so hard just having so many people to compete with back in the day. If you were like, I want to win the Norris or I want to win this or that. I mean, he did get his cups though, right?
Yeah, but and he was original 6, so that gets kind of, that's where it gets dicey sometimes.
Yeah, I
know?
suppose. Yeah.
You wonder what, like, who would you compare in modern times to him, right? Like, who's a defenseman who's always kind of like floating around the top 5, but never actually going to win the Norris? You know what I mean? Like a Jacob Slavin, even though Jacob Slavin's a very different type of player. He's more of a defensive man than a goal scoring defenseman. But you know, like who's always kind of like hanging around, but technically doesn't ever have a chance at beating the McCarrs or, you know, Quinn Hughes or something like that. Maybe Quinn Hughes.
I was going to say Bouchard.
No. Well, yeah.
Like this year, Evan Bouchard.
Yeah. I think Bouchard's young enough, though, that he's going to win some. Just give him some time. It's just like, you know, has Roman Josi won the Norris? Maybe Yosi's kind of one of those guys who he's always kind of in the top 5, but never can actually win it. You know, someone like that. Anyway,
let's see what this thing.
What does Louis get on the
back in 2020? Roman Josi
COVID
won.
year?
Oh, he did. Okay. So Roman Yosi's out. So it would be someone maybe kind of comparable to him, but has never won it.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways.
Now you got me going.
Morrissey? Josh Morrissey? He could kind of be in that tier.
Possibly.
Anyways.
Funny, the first one that popped up is Faber.
Yeah. But he's also still so young. Like,
right.
Thinking
so
like veteran guy, like did Drew Doughty ever win the Norris? I mean, he's kind of flamed out now, but he's always been a very, you know, a very good defenseman for a very long time.
Right.
So,
yeah, he's not on the list I pulled up, but other guys, other players that haven't won it, you know, Sergachev's, he's only 27 though. Adam Fox, same age. We brought up Slavin, Morrissey, Heiskanen.
Nice. Yeah, just kind of a interesting thought, like kind of how to compare him to the modern players to get a better perspective of how good he was, but kind of could never break through to be the top dog for a year. So
fair enough. All right, well, let's dive into the Marcel Pronovost hobby market. Marcel's rookie card is in the 1951 Parker set. It's card number 68. The highest selling copy is this PSA 9 that we're showing on YouTube. It sold for $4,080 US back in December 2019.
That's a nice looking card.
Very nice.
It's really nice.
It's probably my
9, yeah.
second favorite hockey card, probably. Of
You mean
back
like
in
that
the day.
set,
Yes,
the
that set,
vintage
yes.
set? That
Mhm.
yeah.
Probably, yeah, second favorite vintage set. I can't remember what year my first one is. It's the one that you can like fold at the bottom and it tears off, but I don't remember what they were. The red
This
ones.
is yeah, 51. You
This
missed
is
you missed a
51.
5 in your
Oh, it's
1951.
19-1. Well, see,
19-1.
if you don't point
The
things
year
out like that,
19-1.
if you don't point things out like that, see, I can fix it in post production and nobody would know any different.
Sorry. Just kidding. It says 1951
Mhm.
Parkhurst right there. Card number 68.
And then Josh grabbed 3 additional playing cards to talk about. The first one is this one from 54 Top Set, card number 27. Josh is one of his top favorite sets. He always picked these guys.
Yep.
This PSA 9 is the highest seller, and it sold for $1,500 USD in 2019. Then we have a 1960 Parkhurst, card number 29. Also a PSA 9 that sold for $200 back in 2023. And finally, sorry, you got to tilt your head if you want to see it, but a 1968 O-Pee-Chee, card number 125, PSA 9. This is his last NHL card produced also.
Yeah, he looks old in that picture. He looks weathered.
They look old in
Looks
every
weathered.
picture.
Looks
It's like
weathered.
Babe Ruth never looked young. He always looked like he was 56.
They should put Over the Hill Gang picture on here.
Yes, totally.
This is the highest selling copy. This PSA 9 that sold for 331 USD back in October of 2020. And yet again, I'll repeat myself. That is your Hockey Hall of Famer, Marcel Pronovost.
Nice job, Louis.
Very nice.
Yeah. Dave, you going to take over for me here? We're going to jump into some hobby hot takes.
All right, let's do it. All right, I'm just gonna read them off the screen because I don't have it. Yeah, anything
Okay.
to go off. So just throw them up, and I'll read them, and then we'll get into it. This is exciting.
Perfect. All right.
Questions are going to be new to Dave too.
They will be new for me. I haven't really read them, so I'll come up on the fly. So, okay, we got Pelly Dog cards. Did I say that right? Pelly Dog? Pell Dog?
Pelly.
Pelly Dog cards. I wish there was a set with no parallels. It's a cop-out for inserts, except for O-Pee-Chee Platinum. All right, Louis, kick us off.
I said I think specific sets should have parallels, especially keeping them in O-Pee-Chee paper. I love them in that, and you cannot get rid of outbursts or acetates.
Okay. Neil, want to add to it?
Yeah, I agree with his sentiment, but I think he was trying to say, in my interpretation of it, was that, like, maybe he misses the fact when inserts mean something, because so often we get inserts and you're just like, oh, that's cool, and then you forget about it after the week is over, after release week. So, I think that as I was thinking about it, the process of having parallels that matter, like more intentional, I think is kind of the key. Because it can feel overplayed and 15 plus cards of same designs except for platinum. Maybe that's and maybe the fact that every set seems to have like the same type of thing. Like they have the blue border in this one, there's the blue border in that set, or black borders, and it can feel tired a little bit. Maybe that's what he means in a way. But yeah, platinum is definitely that one gets the pass. I agree 100% with that, because parallels have kind of become the set. So
yeah, you need the, I don't know, in a way you kind of need the parallels to complete things. So if you're like a checklist person and you're trying to complete like maybe a rainbow of something, or collect all the different variations of that card, then as a player collect, it's very fun to go after all of those parallels. And if you don't have those parallels, then the product is filled with inserts. And like you said, like those inserts can get lost in the shuffle. Like how many inserts are in flagship, and they could be a really cool insert or a really cool name or a really cool card design. But when you're going to hit 3 of those per box, they just kind of like, no one really cares about them. So
Yeah.
if you don't have parallels, then you're going to have more inserts because everybody doesn't want to open and just rummage through all these base cards. They want to have some hits inside each pack. So
Yeah, you
so
don't
that
want the opposite. I think the opposite of that is not true. Like I agree, you said about one set, but limiting parallels is going to mean there's going to be an uptick of inserts, and I don't want more bad
random,
inserts. I don't want more
right?
forgettable inserts at times. I want
Right.
more content. More. I'd take meaningful parallels over sketchy inserts any day of the week.
Yeah.
And at least hockey, I'll say for us, hockey is not nearly as bad as the other sports. I mean, we have 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
parallels over in the other sports. There's a baseball set that has 60 parallels.
Yeah.
Basketball, football, 60 parallels in those. I mean, forget it. Chasing that rainbow will drive you mad.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that one.
So,
All right. Next question. Next hot take. Okay. We got trunk slam chest. This might not be appropriate. Apologies if it isn't. When a player unexpectedly passes away, I always see a lot of new listings on eBay for that player. I get it. People always want to make money, but it gives me the ick. Like people are trying to profit off of someone's ultimately death. I have a lot of secondhand experience with death, and I know it affects everyone differently, but I don't know. My first reaction when a player passes isn't to immediately sell their hockey cards. That's not how I mourn the loss of a legend. All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I really saw this when Johnny Hockey passed away unexpectedly. His market for cards like doubled overnight, and you saw a huge uptick in his cards. Like tons and tons of people were listing his cards. Um, I think it's kind of like a fair market thing. So I think people mourn and grieve in different ways. And I think in this hobby, there is a money aspect of it. And so you're definitely going to see people who are going to quote unquote take advantage of an opportunity to sell cards for more. I think the people who are really like player collects and really care about a certain player aren't the people that are doing that because they're going to hold because they like the player no matter what. So um, it is a fair market. So I get it. I understand it. I would agree with Slam Chess that it kind of gives me the ick as well. Like it's kind of like, oh, like I don't know, like I definitely didn't go through my collection and find all my Johnny Hockey cards and list them immediately just because I just felt like it was kind of wrong. So I do kind of side more in favor with him on or her on this.
Mm-hmm.
Neil?
Sure.
yeah, I can understand the ick. Maybe not actively doing it, but if you think about it too, when something like that, when a tragedy does happen on the same side of things, there are people out there that all of a sudden say, like, I want a piece of that person's legacy. I've never had it before, and it's obviously front of mind. So they're going to go and maybe look things up. So I don't mind it if somebody also says, like, I have such and such cards. I don't plan on doing anything with them. If the market's kind of demanding it, people are interested, as long as they're not like exploiting it, that's what I think is more important. If you're exploiting it just to drive prices because of a tragedy, then I have a problem with it. But I'm kind of okay with it if it's like, because that's kind of the right time to move it when there's demand. And I think that's the hard thing. You're responding to market
Yeah.
demand,
Yeah.
by selling something, because like I said, some people want a piece of that legacy, and that's just the timing sometimes. So I get that part of it, but I understand the ick aspect of it.
Yeah. I
You
think
know?
it's different. Like, say a Hall of Famer who's like 92 and he passes away, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, him," and he
Mhm.
gets a little bump in price. Like, I get that, but
Yeah.
someone who, tragic passing is feels a little different.
I just had that end of last year. I've had a bunch of cards that are just sitting on my eBay account for like $1.99 or whatever, right? Out of the blue, one of the days I'm like, a Greg Biffle card sold. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh,
I, that card sold, and I didn't even know the incident happened. I'm like, what the heck? And then I got home and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why it. So it was like,
mhm.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
totally weird.
That
Totally
makes
weird scenario.
Louis, you got a different take?
Well, like you guys, I can understand why it gives people that feeling, but
Mhm.
I don't have an issue with it. And here's why. In this hobby, the reality is that we always react to an event in a player's career, whether it's the Cup, Hall of Fame, retirement, blah, 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 blah. Yes, and unfortunately, a death. Short and sweet, markets moved based on significance and attention. So you're going to draw attention when you pass away. And
Yeah.
that's just my short and sweet answer to that one.
How it is. All right.
Yep.
All right. Next one. All
Mhm.
right. Blockhead. Discord. Oh, I should say where it's from. Discord. Blockhead.
Hey, Dave,
If yes.
they're all from Discord today.
Oh, they are? Okay. Discord members. Blockhead. I'll just read the name moving forward. If MLB has a work stoppage, which looks incredibly likely, hockey cards will explode. Key point: whether a bull market continues or not. Baseball makes up something like half of total sports card volume, and a lot of that money will roll over to hockey when the long, empty summer hits. I personally ripped my first hockey blaster recently and was impressed with the overall quality of the cards. People used to tops know that. Did I say that right? People
Yeah.
used to tops know that. Even if there are no QA issues, the overall quality of the product is quite low. TLDR. What does that mean? TLDR. Hockey cards are in the first period. Does anyone know what TLDR means? Anyways.
Too long, didn't read.
Too long didn't
Oh,
read. Yeah.
okay. Okay, I'll go first again.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna actually disagree with this one. I think even if baseball has a work stoppage, I do not think that is going to change the amount of product that's being produced and the product that is being opened and ripped. So I think that baseball money will still, sure, you might see a few dollars or a few people dabble in other sports, but I really think it's baseball is higher and mightier, and I don't think a work stoppage is going to affect that.
Mm-mm.
Louis.
Yeah, I don't. Hockey's not going to absorb all the money if people need to spend it somewhere else. But if collectors are looking for somewhere else to spend during that work stoppage, I think we're well positioned to pick up some of that attention. And then to the quality of the upper deck product, doesn't hurt either. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think Upper Deck's going to stop making baseball cards during work stoppage. So I think they're still going to be coming out with sets left and right. Neil?
Yeah,
Oh,
I agree. I think hockey will get some overflow, but I think we'll get the least overflow. We've heard hockey's undervalued for the last nearly 20 years or so, and at some point, it's my first choice and my first love, but at some point, that potential of the last 2 decades kind of becomes its own answer. Like we're we're on the verge of it, and that's just kind of the way it goes. So we're a smaller fan base, and like Phil usually says, small but mighty, and
mm-hmm.
I like that. Our culture, our loyalty in the hobby. So the product quality is there. I think maybe some people that dip their toe in the hockey pool will be impressed with the product quality because Upper Deck is right there with everything. but I don't think I've never collected something because I'm like, you know what, this product of this, they have the best thick cards. I'm going to buy those.
I
So,
think a lot has to do with prospecting too. When you have some new and exciting players like Bedard and Celebrini and these players and Gavin McKenna coming out, I think that's what's going to actually
mhm,
have people jump ship and maybe come and dabble in hockey. So I think
mhm,
it's the same thing with baseball. If you're a big hockey guy and or how many people who never collected basketball and then Webenyama came in and people are like, "Oh, I'm going to chase this guy from a different sport." So I think that probably has more to do with people putting money in different markets, more about the players and the rookie pools.
yeah.
Amen. All right. Next one. All right. Discord. All right. They're all from Discord. Philly LW. Turquoise Fragments in its debut year, and despite being out of 249, has leapfrogged the other numbered platinum parallels to fall in line right behind Golden Treasures and Seismic Gold in terms of value. All right, Neil, kick us off.
I love you, Philly. I love you, but there's about as much chance of that happening as the Flyers winning the cup this past year. I, I think all the other ones are way too ingrained in the culture of O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Checkers, Emerald, Surge,
Which
and
checkers? Come on, say it.
orange checkers.
Yeah, baby.
And there's no way that turquoise is going to beat outer space. I mean, cosmic is cool, right? I mean, they're just it's a very cool card now because to me it's the new pretty girl at the school dance.
I'm sorry.
You
What?
know, yeah, it's the pretty girl at the school dance, and just give it some time, and the newness is going to wear off. Turquoise is going to be crying in the bathroom with violet pixels and red prism, saying how nobody likes them anymore.
All right, Louis.
Okay, well, I don't think it's going to be that bad, Neil. They're sweet cards, but it's still a terrible take, Philly. Orange checkers, buddy. Come on. You can't compete with that.
All right. I'm actually going to disagree with both of you. I'm
Good.
on the bandwagon with Philly. Okay. So here's the thing. The new turquoise fragment card is insane. It is
awesome.
so awesome. It's crazy awesome. They've been playing around. They tried the hot magma and they tried the liquid gold and they tried these other things and nothing stuck.
Mhm.
This turquoise fragment card is insane. I don't know if it leapfrogs orange checkers. That's pretty tough to do because that's out of 25. Cosmic, I don't know. It might battle with Cosmic a little bit. I do think it leapfrogs some of the other ones. I pulled a Celebrini turquoise. Now, I get it. Granted, it had a color match and it was so awesome, but the turquoise sells for more than some of the other lower numbered parallels. So people are buying into this turquoise. So we'll have to give it another year and see and just kind of see where those card values hit. But I am very, very impressed with turquoise, and I hope they keep it. Don't bring back liquid metal or those other weird ones. Just keep the turquoise. I like the turquoise. It's a fantastic card. So
this is one that any of these cards you never know what's going to take off and go. And
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with out of how many it is. 10, 25, 50. I mean, look at the seismic golds. They're out of 50. Well, they're super hot and awesome. Everybody wants them. Hi, me. I do too, but they're out of 50. And then you got orange checkers. I love them. They're out of 25. But seismic gold's the popular pick, and I don't know. They just which one was it they dropped one, right?
Blue Fragments is gone. They
yeah,
drop. I
they
mean,
had like
the numbered ones always fluctuate, but they are adding more ones. Like Arctic Freeze is still there out of 99. Red Prism is still there out of 199. Violet Pixels is still there out of 399.
Well, if they
So
are gonna, I mean, Blue Fragments was awesome. I love that one too.
yeah,
The Turquoise was great. Maybe they just do a whatever fragments in the next couple of years again. That I can't argue. You never know. These
I just think they're going to rotate it. My advice is sell your turquoise fragments now. They're
Yeah.
gonna buy it, sell them now while the market's hot, but rebuy it later.
You
Then
had
it
me at
becomes
O-Pee-Chee
blue
Platinum.
Yeah, right.
They are awesome. They're awesome cards.
They are. They're great. They're
We'll
beautiful.
have to see. All right, next question. Or sorry, I keep saying question. Next hot take.
Hot take.
Cheeto Fingers. Our good friend Nick.
Cheeto.
First, congratulations on your Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
You told us, and we didn't believe you. So good job on you, Nick. Cheeto Fingers. Jersey numbered cards or bookends only matter if the numbering is on the front of the card, not the back. Louis.
Yes.
Okay. Neil.
That's a lot, Baba Louie.
Yeah,
Hobby.
that was your chance right
You gotta
there.
push the button on you.
I didn't have it ready.
All right. I'm Irish Flyers collector, and I approve this hot take.
Okay.
I think that yeah, I'm not to put a premium on those cards, kind of guy, but I do agree that the numbering on the front certainly makes it feel more special, but because it becomes part of the card's visual presentation instead of it kind of being like a hidden detail in the back. So I
like dating.
I like it. What? Like dating?
Everything up front. Take it in first before you go to the back.
And then you got to see the substance on the back.
David.
Oh wow, that was really nice, Neil. Okay, I'm also gonna agree with you. 3 for 3 sweep. When you have a card in your top loader binder, it's really hard to see the numbering on the back. So keep the numbering.
I take my vote back. I take my vote back now.
I want to see the numbering on the front. I don't want to flip the card over or explain that, oh, this is numbered out of 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep the numbering on the front. All right, next one. Hobby hot take. There we go. I got it right. Swifto Jr. Comps are only half the story. Listing prices are the other half. Last card sold for 20, but only 2 copies are for sale. Lowest price is $40. Guess you're not getting it for comps. Comps work for high volume cards because there are many available and some are always priced at past sales. Okay, I'm going to start. Yes and no. I agree with this. I want to fully agree with this, but my problem is sometimes, okay, if we're talking about like a $20, $40 card, I get it. My problem is when there's a card that's selling for like $200, $250, and they're like, no, it's $750 because I have the only copy. So I don't like it when that happens. And I don't think that's actually what the card should sell for. I understand having a premium, especially if you have the only copy that's for sale, and you should be able to get more than what the comps are for, but within reason. Let's not, treat this like an entrepreneurship and just completely rack someone because you have the only copy and you're holding them hostage with your price. So
Dave, you used entrepreneurship wrong. The term is highway robbery that some people attempt. It's not entrepreneurship.
Yes. Well, got a lot of entrepreneurs in the hobby. So. All right, Louis.
That what you just said almost fits into how I answered this question. The hobby loves to worship comps until they're trying to buy the card. A comp tells you what happened. The current listing tells you what's available. Comps are a great starting point, but supply and demand finish the conversation. If he's got the only one, guess what?
Yeah, you're gonna pay more. How it is.
Yeah.
Neil, you got anything to add?
So I don't. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that this one's actually a hot take. I think it's just fact. I agree with I agree with the premise that comps and listings are both incomplete by themselves, but together they kind of, one shows what the person's hoping to get, the other shows what someone's probably going to lean on and say, this is what I hope to pay. But reality is more along the lines of somewhere in between is where you're going to meet. That's the more factual data. Sales tell you where the market was and listings tell you where the market is. So I think that you just kind of have to, work at a negotiation price and hopefully close the gap. And that's usually what that's where things happen. You can maybe you reference a comp, but I never expect to get comp. I always try to make an offer above comp to try to
I there
sweeten the
there's
deal.
there's also two kinds of comps. There's the buy it now comp and there's the auction comp. And I
Yeah.
feel like they are so very different. And so when I'm negotiating with someone and they're saying, "Hey, this card sold for this," and I go, "Yeah, but that was a buy it now. They paid $100 more than the
Mhm.
last auction that sold. Look at the last four auctions; they're all the same." And then someone paid a massive amount for it, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And or the opposite, someone paid way under because someone didn't know what they had. And so I don't like looking at buy it now comps. I trust if you want a real kind of a better gauge of what a comp is, I always think an auction comp is much a better telling story than a buy it now comp.
Yeah, I like finding those too. But sometimes you kind of once you get into that scenario, then you're both arguing principle at that point. If the other person wants to go, yeah, but these still sold. So
All
All
right,
right.
next question. All
Mhm.
right, next hot take. Oh,
There you
let me
go.
get this. It's freaking Polly.
Oh, it's always freaking Paulie.
It is always freaking Polly. It is better to have a collection of 100 bigger cards or less instead of thousands of everything you like, as collecting is really a race to an eventual zero. Eventually, all cards will have little to no value, as the value is what someone will pay for it. Look at how many 1950s, 60s, 70s cards of good players sit on eBay and such because no one wants to buy them. At least the bigger cards of those decades are still somewhat liquid. So if you want to pass something down to your kids, this is the move. Just FYI, I do not practice what I preach.
No, he doesn't.
Well, at least he's honest.
No, he doesn't.
Neil, start us off.
I agree that 100 major cards are usually going to be easier to pass down or move on from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or more cards. But I kind of disagree that the collecting is a race to zero. I mean, I think that most collections aren't necessarily our financial portfolios, but they're more personal museums to me, in my eyes. I know that's how I do it. But if value preservation is your primary goal, buy bigger cards. Absolutely. If your enjoyment is your primary goal, then I say collect whatever the hell makes you excited. So, but I'm biased. I'm someone who literally has 1,000 different cards of one player. So my enjoyment is being the crazy cat lady of Couturier. So I'm biased.
Yeah. Louis?
Hmm. I just I took this one right from the first sentence about having 100 bigger cards or less instead of thousands of everything. It just boils down to, at the end of the day, the best collection is the one that makes you happy having it. Everything else is just a personal preference. So someday I'd be fun to talk about why. I don't even know how honest people would be, but why we do collect. Because I've never looked at I collect for fun. I've never looked at my cards like what you'd said, Neil, like the financial portfolio. Never has crossed my mind. Like, what am I going to do 20 years or 30 years from now with these cards? I just collect to have fun.
Mhm.
They'll end up where they end up.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I am not collecting hockey cards for my kids. I promise you
No.
that. Like, I don't give a crap what my kids think about my collection because they don't care about my collection. And so my collection is for myself and for myself only. I collect what I like, what I want to collect. I definitely have more than 100 cards. My wife knows if I die what to do with that collection. She's just gonna send it to Slab Sharks. So there's a plan in place in case
Cheap
bad
plug.
things happen and I disappear off the planet real quick. But yeah, I think you should collect what you like to collect. I think that if you're collecting to try to gain monetary value, I think that's where it becomes more difficult. But of course, there are people who do that, right? And if you're going to do that, it's probably always best to stick with the Hall of Fame players and not rookie prospect, if that's your jam. So, anyways, okay, next question. Next hot take. Dang it. I'll never get it right.
We got 20 of these. He's going to get it right at number 19.
I've gotten, I think, one right so far. So, hot take. Top shelf cookie sniper. All right, Jay, what do you got? Collectors say they buy the card, not the grade, but the hobby often tells a different story. Take the exact same card, put one copy of the card in a PSA 10 slab, even if it isn't truly a 10, and put the other raw card in a one touch with better centering, sharper eye appeal, and stronger overall presentation. A surprising number of collectors would choose the PSA 10 without even comparing the cards. Somewhere along the way, the number on the slab became more important than the card inside it. The hobby doesn't have a card problem. It has a label addiction. Hashtag set them free. Louis.
If it is truly a true collector that buys into buying the card and not the grade, I would think that they would overlook that grade and take the other card that hasn't been graded. But with that said, we are, how he put it, stuck in a label addiction. I think more people are going to take the 10. But if you're smart, because you listen to this show, you're going to choose the better card if you have them both in front of you.
Yeah. I think when you look at cards and you're comparing value, if that's kind of your forte or what you're trying to do, of course, people are going to choose the PSA 10 because that already has the built-in value. Whereas a raw card, you have to explain, oh no, this is better. This is just as good as a PSA 10. Whereas the PSA 10 already has that value attached to it. So
what if it doesn't even stick out to you? What if you're at somebody, let's say you walked up to somebody's table and you knew what you wanted. You wanted this in a PSA 10. Boom, he had it. 99 out of 100 times, you're going to look and just see that there's raw ones there and not even care.
That is true. So you agree with Jay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think, I would say 90%, maybe even 95% of the people do exactly this, Jay. I think you're onto something. I don't think that's a secret. But I do think there are some savvy collectors who, whether they're looking at raw cards and they go, oh, I can turn this into a 10. This looks like a 10. Or they just, Phil talks about it all the time where he doesn't care about grading a card. He just wants the right eye appeal with the right centering so it can go in his top loader binder. So there are some collectors that would definitely choose the raw version. I think I generally, especially if it's a card I'm buying, I'd rather pay the discount price of a raw card with the potential of a 10.
But how about like in this case though, this one's better. That's in a one touch.
Yeah, but then I would definitely, me personally, I would buy the raw. Even if I wanted to grade it, then I would grade it.
Or what about if you cracked it? So what my comment too is the same, along the same lines. If I had a 10, a PSA 10, and I cracked it out of that slab and I had a raw version of that card, and I still knew which one used to be the 10. But I'm looking at that raw card and I feel that it looks better, the registration's better, it's brighter, whatever. I think most of us say on the outside that we would say, oh, I'll take the raw one. But I'll be honest, when a push comes to shove and those collectors think, well, this one was a 10. Push comes to shove, I think more people are going to take that freshly cracked 10 over one that they even feel is visually more eye appealing because, there is. Collectors care more about the label than I think we like to admit. We say it.
I think what I would do though, Neil, is I would take the 10 and I would sell it and then take the money and grade the raw card.
Go buy the raw.
Buy the raw copy and grade it. If that's
yeah.
No.
Well, here's what
right.
before you left us again that people
Yeah,
don't know.
sorry.
Um,
I don't know what's going on.
I was chasing after, no dealer's going to set a PSA 10 of just say Bedard in their case and then put like 4 raw ones probably next to it that they know might look better. They're going to space them out. But
Yeah.
are we stupid for not taking that 10 and, like I said before, looking through the case and see if there's a couple more, and literally doing what did this one get? Do we not have time? Are we impatient? I mean,
I think if it's at a dealer's table, they only graded the ones that are worth grading.
good
I
point.
think dealing with a table, unless they just bought cards that they just put right back out there that are raw, I think they've combed through and they know which ones they needed to grade and which ones weren't going to get a 10 and they just threw them out there as raw cards. That would be my guess.
Fair enough.
Right now,
Good
that's
take,
going to
Jay.
change too. Yeah, it's a good take. Right now, it's going to change with the pause of PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing new coming out of there, right?
We'll get into that.
Yeah. All right. But good take. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
that.
Next, hot take. There we go. Two for 10. Panther J. Whatnot is flat out bad for the hobby. The amount of snake oil salesmen and just plain scammers on there is ridiculous. Big cards are pulled and never shipped, and high pressure shill bidding auctions are the norm. Have not seen one redeeming quality thing come from that platform. Neil.
I think that Whatnot kind of amplifies some of the hobby's worst behaviors.
Nailed it.
FOMO, impulse buying, the overhyped sales, the wow, yeah, boom, bang, biff, boom, pow, and all that crap. I don't tolerate that in my own. But that being said, I don't think it's entirely bad for the hobby. I think it kind of ignores the part of the community and the accessibility that some people that might have don't have, and flat out outright entertainment that some people might get out of that, watching people and sellers kind of crash out. Somehow that's become a thing in my Instagram feed. My reels is Whatnot crash outs. So it is kind of amusing. So I don't think that I just think it's not horrible across the board. I just think it amplifies some of the bad behaviors that was kind of already there. A lot of that stuff was already there in the hobby, to be honest with you. So
Mm-hmm.
I have not really had any experiences on Whatnot. I don't use the platform, so I am definitely the wrong person to answer this question because I don't really have an opinion. So, Louis, you got any extra opinions?
It pretty much follows exactly what Neil was saying. It's a bold statement, but I do disagree with it. I don't think it's bad for the hobby. Problem, like everything else in life, it's only the bad gets brought up and shown, not the good. So if you don't do your homework or make your own decisions, you're going to think that Whatnot is terrible because of the negative press it receives.
Yeah. Use trusted people. There are trusted people out there, and the people that have some red flags, don't use them, and find people that are good, honorable people. So
Yep.
All right, hot take.
I love this one.
2 in a row. Jeez.
J&JS collection.
J&J's.
J&J's collection. Can we all agree that calling a pop 1 graded card is not the same as a 1 of 1, and we shouldn't be calling a pop 1 or current highest grade of a card a 1 of 1? Is anyone disagreeing with that, and why? ? Sorry for the rant. Enjoyed the latest show, but God, that part just irked me. All right, I'll start. Okay. Yes, I get it. I understand people who are like, well, it's a pop 1, and so it's a 101. No, it's not a 101 card. A 101 card is an actual card that was produced one time. That is a 101 card, period. Nothing more. All right. Louis?
Yeah, you nailed it. I agree 100%.
Yeah, a pop 1 can become a pop 2 tomorrow.
You can call it a pop
Very good
1
point.
until all day long. It's a pop
Right.
1, pop 1, pop
Oh,
1. Good. I'm happy for you. Great.
you know
Good
what's
job.
crazy? So I saw a sale of a card that I have, and on the listing it said PSA 9, none graded higher, pop 1, 1 of 1. I have a PSA 10 of that card.
Oh, so he lied twice.
He lied twice. I was pretty ticked. It was a card that had sold. It was like on the app, Card Ladder. It was on Card Ladder.
Card ladder.
My recording error just popped up, so I'll probably disappear at some point. Let's go. Next question. Next hot take until I
Right.
disappear. I don't know what's going on with my
Moving on.
computer. All right, Ben. All right. If Ovechkin would be Canadian, his hobby market value would be insane, especially after breaking Gretzky's elusive goal record. If Crosby would be Russian, his market value would be the same as Malkin's, nearly non-existent. No matter his 3 cups, a few 100-point seasons, and with no Olympic gold medal. For comparison, Malkin didn't even make it to the NHL top 100 play list. All right. Who wants to go first?
Not
Neil?
me.
Me? I think, well, let's since we're talking Russians, I will talk with Russians. I think
Okay.
I think nationality absolutely play impact, especially with Canada, biggest market in the hobbies. So I don't think it explains the gap of these players. If Crosby were Russian, if he were suddenly Sasha Krosbakov or something like that, and still have same talent, he'd still be Crosby. He, was marketplace franchise player, save the next great players. So I think that was what he was going to be. Malkin, not so much. He's come in and he be ultimate passenger to Sydney Sasha Krosbakov. So he was doing Malcolm was doing Draisaitl things before it became cool. So
All right.
I just think I think it's a different narrative with Crosby. I don't think that, you know, has I think it has some to do with it with his nationality, but I don't think it has everything to do with it.
No, I don't think the popularity or somebody's market value really boils down to their country of birth.
Hmm.
I've never looked at it that way. Like, you're either good or you're not,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care where you're from. Put it that way.
Yeah, I think I don't agree with this. I think you're talking about Gretzky and Ovechkin and Malkin. Those are
Tier.
very, very different players. Crosby, one of the greatest to do it. Ovechkin, best goal scorer in the league. And Malkin is an amazing player, but he doesn't compare. You can't compare Malkin to those 2 players.
No.
Yeah, I think he's definitely an underrated player of the hobby and the sport. But
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he's got a heart.
He's like a Kucherov, where you're like, how
Yeah.
does he not have more hobby love? So
Yeah,
for sure,
I think he's got a Hart Trophy too, or something like that. But I mean, him and Kucherov are going to be on the first line of most underrated players of the league.
Mhm.
there's Canadian-born players who don't have as much hobby love. Now, does it help? Yeah, it probably helps a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. A scooch.
Yeah, a little nudge.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if my camera goes out, just keep rolling and I'll just jump back on. So,
Perfect.
all right, keep going. Hobby hot take.
Ooh,
The niche hockey cards. PSA pause will drive up the value of some existing PSA 10 cards. This will especially impact recent young guns that have relatively low pop counts. Huh. I think I'm going to have to agree with this a little bit. I mean, especially if there is a lull in young gun cards. Okay, let's talk about the different types of cards that are being graded though. You have like a plethora of young gun cards, which I think are driven by obviously how the player plays. You also factor in the pop count and what's coming out. So the newer rookies and all those players that are coming out, if their cards are stuck or people can't submit them, like let's say Series 1 comes out and we're still in a backlog and you got Gavin McKenna cards and no one's grading them, or not as many people are grading them because they don't want to pay $75 to grade his card, then yeah, I can see that having an effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think the longer the pause lasts, the stronger the effects is going to kind of become. But yeah, I think that most people are going to be like, oh, well, we're just in a holding pattern until the pause gets unpaused, until we know that there's going to be cards that are sitting there not coming out yet or waiting to get sent in. It's kind of like the 90s context of the overproduction. We just know there's going to be more young guns that are going to of modern players that just haven't come yet. So
Right.
Right.
Those registry folks, I think, are going to have a little bit of a push to try to help their registry numbers. Their competition matters, but it's just going to have to wait until the modern stuff. I think vintage, it gets a little bit different, but not with modern.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, I mean, that we're
Interesting thought. Thought.
Glad he left again. Well, here's my 2 cents on this whole
Go ahead,
thing.
Lou. What's your 2 cents?
I don't think it is going to create long-term value. In the most, it's going to create short-term scarcity. The pause doesn't create, let's say, rarity. I think it just delays the supply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Really.
I agree. I think
it'll be
we're all the
interesting
same
to
thought.
see what happens. It could change some things.
Mm-hmm. Agrees.
All right. Hobby hot take. JT Hockey. No trade clauses needed to be eliminated or drastically changed. For a full no trade clause, if a player then requests a trade, that clause should be nullified. For partials, team on that list should be specified when the contract is signed. I get these clauses are designed to protect players, but they end up hurting fans in addition to the team. If you want to stay with a team so badly to demand a no trade clause, you should care enough about the team and fans to not force their hand into a bad deal when you want out. Louis.
Neil, so Neil's got to say his first sentence because it's
Okay.
the first thing
Neil?
I thought of.
So JT is a Detroit fan, right? Just just going out on a limb.
Just saying, just thinking out loud here.
Yeah. I don't know how all this works, but I agree with Neil.
Yeah, I think that my thought in this was, people have to also understand with these no trade clauses too, that's a negotiated context of these contracts, and teams don't have to accept them, because usually when a player asks for that, they're coming down in something else. They're giving something else up to get that no trade clause. So maybe they're coming down in their contract price, or maybe they're tacking on more years or taking fewer years, whatever is in the team's favor. So they're giving something up usually to get that no trade clause, which we don't know. None of us schmoes know about that because it's all behind the scenes negotiation, but it's a negotiated part of the contract and the terms. And if teams hate them, just stop giving them. I think what would be more interesting is if the practice becomes where these no trade clauses kind of are tiered, where maybe it has a gradual reduction. So like, full no trade for the first 1 to 3 years, then like years 4 to 6 maybe it's modified a little bit, and then years 7 and 8 you get very limited protection. But I would like to see a tiered version of a no trade clause or a no movement. But outside of that, I don't fault players too much for it, because those guys only get one chance at this. They get one career.
Mhm.
Franchises, teams, owners, whatever, they have decades worth to change things. And if we want to go bad for 5 years and then rebuild, we can do that. Well, that sucks if you're that player on that team and
Yeah.
this franchise has just decided to bag it for 5 years.
Mhm.
So it's 6, 7.
Oh, you
I
did not
understand it.
just do that.
I understand. I know you love it.
Banned.
Welcome
Banned.
to the last time on this show, Neil.
I get it. I'm just going to say I get it.
Neil's got
I get it. Well,
Mhm. Why
Louis going
can't
to
your
kick me
camera?
out.
Why can't your camera cut out?
So what you're saying is you feel bad for the Dylan Larkins of the world? Is that what
Mhm.
you're
I
saying?
do. I get why they're upset and frustrated, but I get that's there's going to be some pushback in my opinion. This whole okay, no trade clause. Oh well, they don't have 32 teams to choose from. It's like I have 3. Well, now the teams are going to get screwed because they're like, well, great. Now these 2 teams are going to come to me with horrible offers. Meanwhile, you might have Utah over here going, hey, we'll give you more. And then, nah, sorry, our guy doesn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Louis, you got anything to add?
There's nothing to add to that.
I agree. I think you nailed it, Neil. Good job. Good on
yes.
you. Okay, Discord, Mr. Brinklow. The Hockey Hall of Fame should have an enforcer category, and Bob Probert should be the inaugural inductee. No greater enforcer than he. 29 goal season, NHL All Star, 0.4 points per game while averaging 3.5 penalty minutes per game. Louis, we'll start with you.
If this was a category, I can't disagree that Probert should probably be the inaugural inductee. Would I want this? I don't know.
Okay. Neil?
Yeah, I think that if you were going to, if they were to open an enforcer wing at the Hall of Fame tomorrow, then yeah, there's no stronger candidate than Bob Probert being the first guy in the door to break down the door type of a thing. But I don't know if the NHL will do it because it's the hurdle that the enforcers have is what does they want the Hall of Fame to acknowledge? Is it the roles that help define the era of the sport, or is it about the greatest honoring the greatest players? Because you can't tell the story of 70s, 80s, 90s hockey without talking about the enforcer role, and then that pulls in the names: Probert, Domi, McSorley, Koser. Those names all come in. Marty, the Hammer Schultz. You can't tell the story of the NHL without that role. But if you're just going to honor the greatest players, then yeah, every single enforcer unfortunately is going to fall short.
Hmm.
But it just depends on what mood the NHL wants to be. What do they want the Hall of Fame to be?
Yeah. I like how you said that, Neil. Like let's maybe do like a room or a wing that honors those people. Should they be in the Hall of Fame? Mr. Brinklow, I love you. You're awesome. You're amazing. Good friend. But no, I don't think those enforcers should be technically in the Hall of Fame as far as like the actual Hall of Fame award. But like maybe setting up some kind of display room, wing, or something where we can honor those people and their role within hockey and hockey greatness. That would be awesome. So would love to see something like that.
Hockey
And,
Roll
if
of Fame.
the
Yes.
Hockey Wall of Fame, an exhibit. It could be an exhibit that comes this
Yeah.
year about supporting enforcers, perhaps. But like I said, I don't think that they're going to do it because where's the game today? You barely have teams that have enforcers on their rosters now.
Well, maybe even more of a reason to put a light on it from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
past.
yeah,
So,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right.
anyways, all right.
I like the idea.
Next hot take, Vintage Mark. During Josh's great interview with Justin Silver, did you guys watch that?
Mm-hmm.
Most of
Oh,
it.
that was
Good.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
About his Bobby Orr collection, he asked what would happen to values if PSA went under. Here's my optimistic hot take. If PSA went away tomorrow, values would actually rise. Collectors would be more nostalgic for the PSA slabs and the good old days when we used to enjoy hating the company. Neil.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this kind of sounds, when I first read this one, I think it sounds absurd at first, but when you think about it for like, a few minutes, and all of a sudden you think, well, hang on a second, you know, populations counts are frozen, you know, the slabs are discontinued, the nostalgia premiums, and suddenly it's not such a crazy sounding idea. So, I think my overall boring opinion is that, I think values would fall but then rise later, but that's not
Mm-hmm.
fun and exciting. So, PSA, it's the 800-pound gorilla in the hobby, and it's there for a purpose. It's not just the grading; it creates the market confidence and the benchmarks. And if it vanished overnight, I do think it would create a lot of uncertainty, and certainly uncertainty is usually bad for prices. So I think there's going to be a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be a skyrocket. I think it's going to be like a whoa dip
Yeah.
and then come back up. So um, I think this one too, like I said earlier, this will probably affect vintage more if this were to happen. Vintage, you're not going to get a lot of changes. The modern stuff, maybe not as much with the higher pop counts. So,
Depending on when it went away.
yeah, exactly.
Like if it went
Exactly.
away now, and oh my gosh, the king just got knocked off the mountain, and there's not going to be any more PSA slabs, no more PSA 10 Schaefers or whatever.
Hmm.
You better get what you're going to get, but you're going to pay for it. So I
Hmm.
agree that prices would go up.
Hmm.
You know,
I think this question depends on what happens with PSA. So you're saying PSA vanishes tomorrow. I think
in
which
a
is
sinkhole, gone.
it's
Bye.
way different than if a new king of grading conquers PSA and PSA still exists. I think that is where it's detrimental. But as long as PSA is around, they're going to stay king. Um, with them just disappearing, I'm not exactly sure how that would happen. If they just like close the doors, that
Well,
would be
just
like
a
the
mat,
most.
yeah, just
A meteor just
A
fell on
meteor comes down
PSA,
and just
and
takes
it's
out
done.
PSA only and nobody else.
That's it. The only
yeah,
spot it's going to
Um,
hit.
yeah. That's
yeah,
it.
Done.
I think
It's
you're right. Like the nostalgia would be there. So I think it. So in this particular question, yeah, I don't think card values would dip, but I think if for whatever reason 20, 30 years ago you have a tag or someone who becomes the new king and PSA is still very much around and involved, I think that's where you're going to have the big dip in those PSA market. So
I think it's funny too about we're talking about the romanticizing about a company that so many people complain about, and all of a sudden it's like they grade too easy, they grade too hard, their prices are too hard, too high, they take too long, and then if it vanished, all of a sudden it's like, those were the days.
yes,
You know
totally.
what I mean? It's just like,
Remember back in the
yeah.
day when
Uh,
PSA existed.
but
Yep.
cautionary tale, I mean, the fact that we're discussing this, what would happen if it disappeared, that tells you just how much of the hobby's value structure is tied to a grading company rather than the
Yeah.
cards themselves. So this is a bit of a cautionary tale too.
Yeah. For sure.
IMO.
All right. Next hot take.
Mhm.
All right. We got Swifto Jr. Swifto Jor. Isn't that supposed to be Swifto Jr.? Or is there a different Swifto Jor?
I just copied and pasted how it was
Oh, okay.
put in the notes. So yes,
Okay.
you're right though.
Didn't he already do a question? All right. Doing two.
Maybe.
Connor McDavid equals Mike Trout, and pay attention to the trajectory Trout cards have taken. Interesting. All right, I'll go first. This is the first time I've heard this, but I'm going to go off the cuff. I see it. Mike Trout has been for a while, not for the last maybe 3 or 4 years, but he was the GOAT of baseball before probably Shohei arrived and took over. But yes, Mike Trout was massive, and he was by far looked at as the greatest baseball player during this generation. And not only has he not won, Mike Trout has never, if I'm correct on this, Mike Trout has never even made the playoffs. He has yet to play in a playoff game. And so you think, I feel so bad for Mike Trout just
Right.
living and dying in his days of LA. I mean, I'm sure he's super happy. He loves the team. He lives in LA. It's great, but he never got to even experience playoff baseball.
He
And
had a
so,
chance not too long ago to go somewhere too, Dave. Remember he just accepted a new contract, so
yeah,
he
I
had a
guess,
chance to get out. But
yeah,
he's not my favorite guy, even though he's a Philly guy.
I love Mike Trout. He's awesome. Have
Mhm.
you seen him opening cards with his kids?
Oh yeah, I've seen.
There's
Yeah,
some
that
great,
stuff's fantastic, and I just think that. But
great
I
videos
think
of
he
him.
got hurt a bit too. To be fair, if I'm not mistaken, I don't follow baseball, so I'm sure there were some injuries
Now,
seasons in here.
I,
But
I I will say this though, Mike Trout is good as he was,
Mhm.
and maybe you can say, okay, for a 5-year period, he was the best player in baseball.
Mhm,
Connor McDavid is the greatest player to ever skate as far as talent and skill.
mhm,
So, you're comparing Mike Trout to like a 5-year period, whereas you can compare Connor McDavid to generations after generations,
Mhm.
and he's the best that has ever done it to this point, in my
mhm.
opinion. So
Yeah, I agree. People start looking for championships. Let's call it what it is.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So that's never going to stop. But it is a bit of a cautionary tale. But that Trout's market. But I think McDavid's. You know, his talent is different than Trout. I think they're a little
correct,
bit different, but I agree.
correct. Louis,
It's too different to compare the two.
Mm,
There's too many variables in this whole situation. McDavid was great when he started. He's still the same greatness
mhm.
as he plays right now. Trout was awesome when he started. It's not the same Trout right now.
correct.
So it's not a fair comparison, but I see what we're trying
I
to
see
go
where
with
you're
here.
leaning towards. I see where you're going though.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm, mhm.
Last
All right,
one.
last one.
Yep, and it's going to be a cliffhanger.
Okay, Nick,
Oh, a cliffhanger.
you don't need superstars to win a Stanley Cup. You need proper team management and player buy-in.
And I want you guys to hold on to your
Okay.
answers because this is coming up in our next segment. All right, so this next segment I decided to call the Carolina Blueprint.
Hmm.
So we will first start though with Carolina won the Stanley Cup, gentlemen.
Mhm,
hmm Now, with them winning the cup, though, I say they didn't just win the cup; they dominated this whole playoffs, the whole run. You look back at it; it's hard to argue they weren't the best team in hockey. Hands down, they were. Um, I summed it up kind of like, and this, it's so hard for me to say all this because I've disliked this team for so long that it almost hurts how wrong I've been. But I said Carolina has been a team that has been respected for years, except by me. But did anybody really think that they would win at all? Either of you guys?
No, nobody really had them in the finals. I don't think. I think most people had some sexier picks. I think that's the problem with Carolina. They're not a sexy team.
Like the Wild. I know, I get it.
They're well, yeah, but even the Wild have Kaprizov
Super
and they have
sexiness.
Quinn Hughes, so they have some sexiness to them.
hmm
mhm,
But Carolina, like, you talk about in the Wild, like, oh, we don't have a first line center. We haven't had a first line center forever. Who's Carolina's first line center? They don't really have a first line center either. So,
Right.
you talk about that, and they're not like an attractive pick. They don't have, I mean, they have Jackson Blake, which is a great young talent, but he's not the, you know, a top 5 guy that everyone's all excited about, and you got some veteran players on there, but you don't really have a superstar, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they're
It-
not a team that anyone's looking at, even though I heard when they were announcing, while they were giving them the Stanley Cup, they said over the last 8 years, Carolina has more combined regular season and playoff wins than any other team in the NHL. I was like, what? I had no
Mm-hmm.
clue. None at
They're
all. I would not have
so
thought that.
They are the quietest machine and dynasty going in sports. Like they just win, and but they're quiet. Like there's just, I think it's part of like to do to the market, but they are just a plug and play machine, man. Those players, they've got buy-in. I think that factors into it, and there's some sort of a mentality there. So I mean, you guys remember, like, what was it, round 1, round 2? I sent the kind of a joke to the text, the Gong Show group, and I'm like, "Hey guys, let's all get excited for Vegas, Carolina. I hope that never happens." And then I was like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like this the years past Super Bowl with, Seattle and New England. I was like, "This is going to be a snoozer." It was actually a good series, but
It was a great series.
having watched them truck a team 4 games in a row, when Carolina plowed over the Flyers, I was like, "There's just no, like, that just shows you how where your team has to get to and what you have to do. They're like on top of you. They're a good system. It reminded me a little bit of Louis, your favorite team back in the '90s. How unfun it was to play against the Devils
Oh, yes.
in the trap era. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
just on top of you, just boom. As soon as you get, that's what I see with Carolina, but it's not the trap.
And that's how that last game ended up too. Once they got up by 2, it was
Mhm.
an awesome hockey game. It was so
Mhm.
fun to watch. I
Yeah,
said it. I did. I said it. I said it was fun to watch it.
you did.
But once they got up by 2,
Mhm.
it went back to normal Carolina hockey, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I can't,"
Mhm.
But
Yeah, shut down.
but
Yeah, Vegas couldn't get a shot on goal. I mean, they
Yeah,
just
for 20
no,
minutes,
yeah, just
19
dominated them.
minutes.
It was crazy, and they have firepower on that team. And every time someone would try to bring in the puck against Jacob Slavin, he'd just take it away from them. It was insane. They actually remind me a lot of the 2 times the Kings won the Stanley Cup. Kind of that same blueprint where the Kings did not have an amazing superstar. They had 4 very, very solid lines. In fact, the second time they won the cup, it was an overtime goal by the fourth line that did it.
mm-hmm,
And so, when you can roll 4 lines and you and they're very even, they create matchup problems, and everyone on that team bought in. Let's also not forget the team that generally wins the cup is the team that gets the hottest goaltending. And
sure. Don't go too far
Vegas.
into that. Hold your thoughts
Okay,
a little
okay,
bit.
okay.
Not
We'll
diarrhea
come
the
back to
mouth.
that. All right, all right.
But think about this. We always say, here's the playoffs are the next. It's another quarter of a season, and like Neil was just saying here, I mean, 16-3,
Yeah.
4 rip, 4 rip, 4-1, 4-2. It it's crazy when you think about it. And like I said about how boring they are, that a team that they dominate possession and bore you to death with the defensive style that they play once they're up.
Mhm.
And I think it boils down to what they did here is they built depth, defense. They have a relentless forecheck. And like you said with LA, Dave, they can roll 4 lines. Everybody participated. Taylor Hall, Nikolai Ehlers, Stankoven. They're all important pieces to this team. The whole run.
Yeah.
But now what was crazy is I don't know. Somebody said that he made some comments, and I don't know if it taken out of context or not. But your playoff MVP, Mr. Jordan Stahl, Conn Smythe winner, he is the oldest player to receive this award.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I don't. I. It was rumblings about if it was him saying you had to ride it out, I was going to ride this out. I didn't leave. I didn't quit. Now is he taking shots at was it Rantanen?
Mm.
I that's how people are trying, that's how the media is spinning this, of course, they have to try to drum something else up. But he did. He hung with the team throughout and got what he deserved. I don't know that he was really playoff MVP, but what the hell? We'll give it to him.
It was a sentimental pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who else are you going to do it at that point? I mean, because they can't give it to somebody
I
from the
actually
team that
thought
lost. Not in my
I
opinion.
actually thought Taylor Hall was going to get the playoff
Sure.
MVP. As far as what he did through the whole playoffs, you talk about the goalies. If Anderson finished and stayed as the goaltender through the finals, I think it would have gone to him. But of course,
Sure, yeah.
he was dominant, especially in those first three series. I mean, he was the best goaltender in the playoffs. Nobody could get pucks past him.
Nope.
His goals against average was like 1 or something ridiculous.
Stupid.
And then, the Stanley Cup finals started and he got the yips or something, and they're
Right.
scoring goals left and right on him, and credit Rod the Bod for going, you know what? We gotta, I know Anderson's been great, but let's bring in the backup and see what happens. And he comes in and just, it was like, and then he became the best goaltender for the finals, and nobody could get a puck past him. And
Yeah.
just even watching him in that last game, that one shot that came, he literally like dove and like chucked his shoulder into the puck to knock it away. I mean, you could tell the confidence he had, that he didn't think anything was going to get by him, and nothing did. So in playoffs, goaltending wins. It just wins.
Yeah, I think too. Like to go back to the question too that was asked. Sorry, who was it? Nimitz or something. We talked about a superstar can win you games, but I think a system that wins you rounds in the playoffs, right? I think that moves you to the next round and the next round, and the systems that work and the buy-in that players have that I was talking about earlier. Like this isn't just a Carolina blueprint. It is now, but think about Florida.
Yeah.
They got 2 cups in a row and been to 3 of them. There's not, I mean, yeah, the Kachuk's there, but
Well, shelf that. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go on when I get into my other stuff here, and it'll nail it perfect. So let's take the last 5 years. Where do you put this team on top teams on your totem pole? So I went and looked. They've had decent runs over the last 5 years. Semifinals, finals, semifinals again, finals, and now cup champs.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's a nice resume.
So they've been to the semifinals every year in the past 5 years.
Semifinals, then went to the finals, then went to the semis, then went to the finals last year, and now won the cup this year.
That's crazy. I didn't even like realize that.
Wait,
like
no,
that's how disappeared they've been in my radar.
Wait, say that again? They were in the final. They were in the semis last year.
2021, 22, they went to the semifinals. 22, 23, they were in the finals. Then the semifinals again in 23, 24. In the finals, 24, 25 last year, when they lost to Florida, right?
No, because they would have.
No, they're from the
been
same.
on the same
They're from the
side.
same
division.
Yeah, Edmonton.
Tampa's
It was
in there.
Edmonton.
Edmonton.
But
Maybe
Carolina
maybe
lost
I'm
in the
off, but
semis.
they were in the semifinals or
They're in the
finals in the
semis,
last 5 years,
Yeah. Okay.
and then now would take the cup.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's consistency. I mean, I think last year I thought they were a machine too, until they got swept by Panthers, and then the only thing that was bad about that was when Brindamore made some sort of comment like, "Well, we didn't get swept." I'm like, yeah, you did." That kind of detracted from his team. Just getting, they just got beat up by but what Florida does. Florida, they just muscle you into submission and punish you. But yeah, Carolina, they didn't. If this was the year, if any year was going to be the year, this was their year. Like they didn't have to go through Florida. They didn't have to go through that physical contest again. Um,
Yeah, I
this-
mean, what team did they play that was
I was
super
kind of
super
afraid of them the
physical?
whole way in the East.
There
Oh,
wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here, let me see if I'm. This is where I took my information from. 21-22, they lost to the Eastern. They lost Eastern Conference Finals to Florida. Then 22-23,
Okay.
they lost. Oh, maybe I screwed it up. That they lost to Florida again,
Mm-hmm.
and then
That's always Florida.
23-24. What the hell is going on here? They didn't lose to them the whole times, did they? Why is this doing this? I think this is completely
The
screwed up.
Hurricanes are to the Panthers as Dave's Kings are to the Oilers.
Yes, it is so
Always
true.
losing to the Panthers.
Although I was going to make a comment about that because we talk about superstars, and
Mhm.
I think about the Edmonton Oilers and why they've struggled to win the cup. When you have superstars like McDavid and Drysaitel, and
Mhm.
you have these two players that are two of the best players in the NHL. You run them through series one, and me being a Kings fan, I've had to freaking see Edmonton like every year except for
Every
last
year.
year in the first round. And what happens is the Kings play really well, but in an emergency situation, they throw Draisaitl and McDavid on the same line, and they start scoring a lot of goals. And yeah, they're not getting goals from their other teammates, but then
Right.
eventually they get enough and they win a series, and then they do it maybe the next series, and then they do it and get in the finals. The problem is by the time they're in the finals,
They're gassed.
they're just freaking
Okay,
you can
I
see
gotta
it. They
stop
don't
then.
have it.
I'm gonna jump ahead because you guys are
Okay.
jumping into everything I was sitting here. So what I was working on, this is my whole Carolina thought. And after watching some of their games, here's what I couldn't stop thinking about, especially watching the Vegas series. With this cup, like I said, starting off the show, I think Carolina might have just started one of the biggest debates in hockey, not because they won, but because how they did it.
Mhm.
So, did Carolina just change the blueprint on how you build a Stanley Cup champion? I started comparing these as I was sitting writing my notes to Edmonton. I didn't pick Edmonton to be a jerk or pick on them for any reason, but there was specific things that stood out in my head that I thought, okay, this might make sense. For many, many, many years, people have thought, and it kind of has been true, that people assume that you needed a generational superstar to win. Your Crosbys, your Ovies, McKinnon, McDavid. Um, it's like we've always been conditioned to feel that's the way it's got to be. We need one of those guys or we're not going to win. Carolina just won the cup without having an obvious top five superstar.
Correct.
So I'm going to go to Edmonton's Louis wannabe Edmonton blueprint, we'll call it. Um, Edmonton, to me, they're built from the top down. Everything revolves around McDavid and Draisaitl, like you were saying, Dave. They are two players who can completely take over a game or a series. The power play runs through them. The offense starts with them. And every off season becomes how do we build around these two guys?
Mhm.
Now, in this blueprint setting for Edmonton, I did pros and cons for each team. So the pros, Dave, you mentioned it, superstars can steal games. Um, Usually a lead on the power play. Um, Edmonton and those two, Draisaitl and McDavid, they're easier to market and they're easier then to attract talent to your team. In at game 7, you have to have the best player on the ice. But like you were saying, how tired are they by that time?
Yeah.
The cons with having a McDavid Draisaitl blueprint for your team, it's a massive salary commitment. Um, one injury or somebody leaving the team for any reason changes everything. it's hard to build quality depth around two guys like that. And the opponents know exactly who to stop, who they have to get in the way of on the ice. Um, Finally, for that, every season, like I kind of mentioned, it becomes a cap juggling act with these guys.
Mm.
Now, for Carolina, this was kind of a hard one because I didn't. It's so different. I'm not used to seeing a team constantly roll like they did. You know, I basically, like I wrote, I said they have. Come on.
Down to a science now.
It's all right.
Well, I got to write that down. 4710.
147.
47. Do you guys want to say anything about what I thought about my Edmonton blueprint before I move on to Carolina, or do you want me to jump into them and then just jumble it all together?
No, I mean, I think you've been mentioning it. We've been talking about it, right? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
there, you have seen the blueprint that's worked with superstars. Obviously, you know, we've seen these fantastic players who have come in, they've taken over games, they've won Stanley Cups. But let's look at the last three teams that have won it, twice with Florida and once with Carolina. No true superstar on the team, very good depth, had great timely goaltending. Bobrovsky was amazing the two times they won the cup. You know, and so we haven't seen that team that has a couple of superstars and then throw some crap with it. I mean, it's really hard
Oh, crap.
in Edmonton when you don't have goaltending. I keep saying it. The team that wins the cup always has the hottest goaltender. Who had the hottest goaltender this year? Carolina. Who had it the last 2 years? Florida. Like depth and goaltending. That's what you
When
need.
Vegas won, it was eight. When the Vegas won, Aiden Hill was hot. When the Blues won, Jordan Bennington was super hot. Like you
Yes,
can't argue that point of it, and it's the thing that apparently the GM of Edmonton has never paid attention to that, and he's relying gassing McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, when they went 7 games, when they battled back to force 7 games against the Panthers the first year, like they had some additional help from additional players. It was Zach Hyman was helping, the Nuge, you know, some of these other players were helping out here and there. But if you remember last year's playoffs, they didn't have as much of that extra help.
Yeah.
And the goaltending was there. And I just think that the team was just completely gassed.
Yeah, the last 8 minutes of that game 7, McDavid and Draisaitl were on the ice, and I remember the last minute when they had the goalie pulled and they were useless out there. They couldn't skate. This is like they're putting everything they had into it, and they literally could not skate because they were so gassed. And so you do need the support from your team. You got to have at least 3 lines. You got to have scoring from 3 lines. And Edmonton, it's like 75%, 80% of their scoring is from McDavid and Draisaitl. So it's tough to win when you can't get scoring from anybody else and you got to do it yourself. It's tough. It's a team game. Got to be a team.
Right. It's so okay. So now with that, I'll jump into my pros for Carolina. This is how I kind of saw them. They have 4 lines. No ifs, ands, buts, doubts, nothing about it. They have 4 consistent lines, and they get contributions from everybody on each line. They're better protected for injuries because of the depth that this team has. They're a harder team to plan against because it doesn't matter what line's out there, they just keep coming. One line after another after another. The team is sustainable year after year. The cons, this list was, I mean, my pros was short because, I mean,
you didn't want to give them too much credit.
Well, you got 4 solid lines, and having depth like that, you can do so much with, you know, and from being a hockey coach and having a hockey team where it doesn't matter if I'm putting out line 3 or line 4. It's so nice not really having to worry about that. But the cons, I mean, there's no guaranteed game breaker for them.
Mhm.
It's harder to steal a game when nothing's working. Um, it requires everybody to consistently contribute, and thankfully that those guys are. Now, with all of the pros and cons from both teams, why does all that matter? These two different blueprints. The playoffs are completely different from the regular season. We all know that.
Mhm.
Over 82 games, I will say talent is going to usually win. Over 4 playoff rounds is where you need depth. The
Yeah.
reasonings behind it, everybody is dealing with injuries. The matchups become a lot tighter, a lot tougher. You're playing against the elite now. You know, your stars play against shutdown lines every night. Bottom six scoring now becomes critical.
Huge.
Your third defensive pair suddenly becomes important. You need them. Edmonton very, very much lacks in that department.
I got a quick question though about this. Okay,
Hmm.
so Edmonton, we talk about how they don't have a lot of depth and they have these two superstars, but they have two superstars who are taking massive pay cuts compared to what they're worth. So where's the
Recently,
rest of their money going where they're not able to add these pieces? Are they just spending it unwisely and not getting the right parts? Like, McDavid's playing way under his worth, and Dreisaitl's not. I mean, he's expensive, but he's not crazy expensive. So where's all their money going?
I don't know. You
Mm.
need, if you want to run deep in the playoffs, my last quick point was you need 18 skaters contributing instead of relying on 2 or 3 guys. Just say like
Yeah.
2 guys and a
So,
goalie. You need a full team to run deep into the playoffs.
Mhm.
mhm. Yep, you do.
Yeah, it's
So,
that unit mentality of just they were just ridiculous. I can't speak about more in awe over what Carolina did because of their just capability to shut down games. And like I said to you earlier, it just felt so much like the '90s in a trap without being a trap. It was definitely bulldozing games without the physicality. It was the Bordeaux games. They were boredom. They were getting you beaten with boredom at sometimes, but
mm-hmm.
that wins, man. You can boredom can win, man. I'll be honest. I wouldn't hate it if my team got up 2-0 and shut you down.
Well, I didn't like a Jacques Lemaire Devils trap and dump and chase game
Mm-hmm.
constantly. I hate giving up the puck,
Mm-hmm.
taking it into the O zone. You
Mm-hmm.
carry the puck in and keep possession. Don't dump it and try to get it back again.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. And the only fun thing out of the end of this I could come up with is throwing something out to you guys then, and people listening or watching,
Mm-hmm.
comments. If you were starting a franchise today, which way are you going to go? A McDavid Dreisaitl or 4 lines that look like all second lines?
Well, it's attractive to have the attractive players, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of owners, of course, everybody wants to win, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
still a business and they still got to make money. And big superstar names
Yeah, gotta
sell tickets,
gotta
they
put the
sell
butts in the
jerseys,
seats.
they
You gotta
they
put the
put butts
butts
in
in
the
the seats.
seats, exactly. And so, as an owner, you're obviously going to say, what superstar can I build a team around, not how can I build a team with no superstars. So I think most no, most people are going to try to find that superstar to build a team, and we
Mm-hmm.
know it does work. It
Yeah.
obviously works. And so if you can, it's just what's the price. You gotta weigh
Right.
those, right?
You know,
Those differences.
and all this is it was just me spitballing. I'm thinking of a topic and I'm thinking of Carolina and I'm mad at Carolina. And I'm like, how did they do it? And I'm like, I guess that's my topic. How did they do it? Is it sustainable? Is this the new direction? There's with that last question, there's not a right answer.
We
But
we did just break the record for longest hobby hot take answer. on the planet. So
Yeah.
Hey,
I hope.
is Rod Brindamore? Is he the superstar player?
Well, before I had to
Rip.
cut you guys off because you were starting to answer everything I was going to talk about.
We were getting in trouble, Dave.
I know. Sorry, I
Here's
didn't read the
along.
notes. Oh,
Brenda
this is
Moore, the
so
best
much-
coach in the NHL right now.
Is he?
Maybe.
I don't-
Maybe. Maybe. I
Based
don't
off of the numbers that Bettman said there at the beginning during the Conn Smythe thing,
know. Yeah,
or the
8
trophy,
years.
giving the trophy how many wins they've had.
Yeah.
I had to break that down, but I'll be honest. Until he said that stupid comment last year, I would have said 100% last year. Then he made that silly "we didn't get swept" statement. And I love Brenda Moore even when he was here. So I'm gonna say yes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for sure.
He's got the players buy-in, and that's the thing. I love the way he played, and he has a team full of Rod Brindamores right now.
Mhm.
They like I said, they must idolize or worship what he preaches. Maybe it's because he does it. He backs it up. I mean, how many coaches are in the gyms doing all the reps
Yeah.
with their team?
Yeah.
Not many. Rod is. You know, he's
That's
doing
true.
all the reps. He's probably benching more than half the team. He's probably
Probably
doing
more than almost all of them.
yeah, you know, so he's got that buy-in, and so is he the most maybe he's that superstar that you want to build around.
Sure. You guys
But-
good with that?
Yeah.
Longest answer ever for
Yeah.
hot takes? I just thought it was funny how that worked out. Okay.
More Carolina talk for Louis.
Right. Slab Sharks! Hey, Slab Sharks is a Gong Show partner and sponsor, and we're thankful for their support of our show. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction is live, and it's ending tonight. The boys will be there. The boys are back in town. There are 8,000 cards up for grabs, you guys. So
Is that
good
it?
luck if 8,000. Yep, that's it. You got
Okay.
plenty to choose from. Big old Thursday night. So get in there, mark your favorites, put some bids in. Don't Josh bid. Put in mega bids if you want them. Definitely need to. I wanted to bring this card up though. Check out this gem. This one's up. Last I checked, it was at like 35, 36K
Oh, geez.
US. It's the 25-26 Matthew Schaefer Golden Treasures 101.
It's
Big boy
made its
card.
way. Yeah,
But the
made its
101's on the
Solid
back.
card.
the 101's on the back. Good callback, Louis. Wow. 101's on the back.
I'll put it in upside down in my top loader binder so you can see the 101.
Sure. Well, backwards, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? Upside down?
Upside down.
Oh, that's what I meant. Backwards.
No,
Sorry.
I know. I got you.
My
I just
mind
felt
thinks one thing, my mouth says another.
like,
Happens all
you
the
and I
time.
both have the same problem.
Yeah.
So, anywho, there's no better way to sell your cards on eBay other than with Slab Sharks. First, this is the biggest hockey auction there is. Quantity and quality. And not just that, they make it so easy. They do pretty much all the work. And all you have to do is box the cards up, sign a submission form, and send them in, and you're done. And if you're an American hockey card collector, we've made it easier for you too, as we are the official U.S. Slab Sharks submission center. So just send the cards to us, and we'll get them up into the auction for you. Even in the same week, if you can get your cards to us by Tuesday, they will be up in Thursday's auction. So, for complete consignment information, including payout rates, and to get this process started, head to Slab Sharks today. Hobby news.
The hobby news.
News from the hobby. How was that? Was that a good fill?
That was cute.
That's so cute.
News from the hobby. Okay, we've been talking about them. Everybody is like, who? I figured we'd talk about who is Brandon Bussey.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So he's one of those guys that just came out of nowhere, like Sound Beach, New York. Never heard of that place either. Sorry if it's popular, but taking a look at his journey, something that was really interesting to me, and you don't hear this that often, but he was never drafted by an NHL team.
Oh.
He's a 6'5" goalie that played collegiately at Western Michigan and became one of the best goalies in their program's history. he his game ended up catching the attention of the Boston Bruins, who signed him as an undrafted free agent in 2022. He went on to play in Providence in the AHL and put up stats very quick. He ended up as an AHL All Rookie Team, an AHL All Star. But why didn't we ever see him when Boston took him?
I know.
Well, there were two guys, one named Swayman and one named Allmark, in his way.
Mm-hmm.
So he went on the waivers and was claimed by Florida, and that went lickety split and ended up in Carolina. He signed a 3-year, $5.7 million contract, 1.9 a year, in February of this year.
Mm-hmm.
He made his NHL debut in October this season at the age of 27 and recorded his first win in his first game. But technically, this was his 7th NHL game, but the first between 23-24 as Boston's backup. He dressed but never played.
Mm.
Now, we'll see it in a minute, this is where we get his Young Guns photo from. Some savvy photographer was at least out there and snapping some pictures in warm-ups. So, Bussy was 23-3-1 with a 211 goals against and a 920 save percentage and 2 shutouts when he signed that contract with Carolina. With injuries, he got the shot and was the fastest goalie in NHL history to reach 10 wins, then 20, then up to 25. By the end of this year's regular season, he had won 31 of his 39 starts. His
Impressive.
and I never heard anything. He never came up in like major news.
Never
So-
heard his name once this regular season.
Well, he's the backup, so he's not playing. He plays here and there, or Freddie Anderson. He hurt his knee or something, so he's out 2 weeks. So Bussy comes in and takes over. So when you're not the number one guy, you can kind of have a really good under the radar season, and
I
nobody
suppose.
knows because you're just the backup.
He's boring. He's 23-3.
Right?
Yeah.
So this whole heroics thing started after taking over for Freddie Anderson in Game 3. And in the playoffs, he played 4 games, stopped 81 of 87 shots, had a 1.6 goals against and a 931 save percentage. He's the first goalie in NHL history to win the cup after not starting any of the previous 3 rounds. He's his first shutout in a cup clinching game, or it was the first shutout in a cup clinching game since Vasilevsky did it in 2021. And then bringing up the old Young Guns, let's take a look at this here. He's a 24-25 Young Guns with a PSA 10 pop of 32 and a 30% gem rate.
It's going to sit there for a while.
Yeah. Last sale, last time I looked it up was June 14th for $399 USD.
That is a healthy price.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just for the heck of it here, because we can do this. Because we have
can do whatever
computers
we
in front
want.
of us. Let's just see.
Look up card ladder. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
Same thing.
there's
That's
not
the
a lot
last
of
sale.
people going, oh, I'm gonna. I would think the people who graded this card,
Right. Nice
Like,
comment.
he never. I'm trying to rationalize.
Trying to comprehend grading it,
decision
right? Yeah.
to grade this card, because you're like, okay, I'm assuming the first 20 sales of this card were like $20, right?
Right.
As a PSA 10. So
Raw,
you probably
raw,
didn't
raw.
even cover your grading fee, even with a PSA 10. So
Yeah. Well, the person who graded this card, I think, has many losses on cards they graded that are $1.50 Young Guns.
Yeah. Well, I also
agree.
wonder there's collectors out there who want to have a PSA 10 Young Gun of every single player from the set, right? So all
Sure.
50 players. So
Mhm.
I would think maybe some people are grading cards just so that they can do that.
Yeah.
So
Excellent point.
in the last 3 days, let's see, it's Thursday. So the last 3 days, I started to chuckle. And right away when it happened, I think it had happened a couple weeks ago and I didn't think anything of it. I have one of these young guns on EPAC. And people are asking me to, they want to trade for this card. And I never did it. Well, in the last 3 or 4 days, trade. My email's blowing up. People trying to trade me for this card. And I'm like, what is going on? So then once I started following these last few the cup games and then reading into this, I'm like, oh, now I know
Oh,
what's
this
going
is
on.
why. Yeah.
Next
Louis,
story.
the hot girl at the dance.
Oh,
Seriously.
I know, right? Don't know if you guys heard. It was kind of a sad thing for me here in the States because I was so used to hearing it, but Hockey Night in Canada is done. One of the
What?
one of the biggest pieces of hockey news this week isn't about a player or a trade. It's about Hockey Night in Canada. After 75 years on CBC television, Hockey Night in Canada will no longer air on the public broadcaster beginning next year. The agreement between Rogers Sportsnet and CBC officially expired after the Stanley Cup. And the two sides couldn't reach a new deal. That means starting with the 26-27 season, all NHL broadcasts will be carried exclusively by Sportsnet.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So if you're a Canadian hockey fan, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
started in
wonder.
52, became a Saturday night tradition for families. Like I feel a lot always talk about this hockey night in Canada, sitting with he'd sit with his dad, watch the hockey
Yeah.
games, right?
Yep.
So that kind of I don't know. CBC says it understands many Canadians will miss having hockey on the public network, but the broadcaster is shifting its focus to new sports programming strategy. We want more money. Following the success of the Milan Olympics. Now, Sportsnet says it's honored to continue the Saturday night hockey tradition while CBC still owns the Hockey Night in Canada name and can potentially use the brand in other ways down the road. How?
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll
I
have
mean,
to
for
wait and
us
see.
here, we've never had something. Oh, how long has it been since we've had just hockey on regular? I mean, NBC picks it up here and there on the weekends, right?
Saturdays, Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not very often.
Or like a heritage classic game, an outdoor game or something like that, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's not mainstream, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
All my
No.
Flyers games are carried by the local sports network. And I mean, even here in America and the States, I still have a soft spot hearing about Hockey Night in Canada. I've heard it all for years, as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
And a fan of the game and cognizant of it. So that's sad, but it just tells you where programming is going. Maybe they're also not investing the money into dwindling numbers. Maybe I mean, there's quite a lot more things to do in the
Mm-hmm.
world now that's drawing and demanding attention. So I mean, just look at late night television. So I mean, I'm sure their numbers are hurting and where they want to go with it. So it doesn't surprise me. I guess
I haven't watched
sad,
late night
but
television and I don't know how long. If it's not done by 10 o'clock, I'm. See ya. All right, final thing to touch on new product releases. And it's brought to you by Gongshow friend and partner Total Sports Cards and their breaking outfit GP Sports. Now, Grant, along with his killer flow that you can't see, but he will be breaking again tomorrow night. So be sure to jump on to gpsportcards.com to get your spots. And then you can watch all the live action on his YouTube channel right there. If, by chance, You're looking for any new or current products, don't forget that Total Sports Cards will ship products to you anywhere in Canada. Need to move some stuff? Scratch that itch you've been putting off? Don't forget, Grant will buy your cards too. If you have a collection to sell, reach out to him at his hobby shop or message GP on Instagram. Now, time for No, I screwed up one thing. I got more. Dang, I did a lot of work. I'm exhausted. I can't. Where's Josh? I can't do this. It's too long. Jeez. But-
Louis throwing in the towel.
Vacations.
I know. No more vacations. That's it. You got to do the show on vacation. I'll do the rest. But new product release stuff next week. We're going to chat about the 25-26 SP Authentic preview.
That's
coming up on Monday. Yeah, I'm excited to see this one. This one will be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have all the lowdown for you there. And then I just did quickly an updated release calendar from Upper Deck. Don't treat it as something might not, it might change. You never know. It's not gospel. But we got, SP Authentic out on the 24th. Then Parkhurst on July 2nd. My God, I'm already saying July. Summer's almost over. Then Upper Deck Team Canada Hockey in Canada only on the 9th.
Wow.
And then on July 15th, got another biggie. Ultimate Collection. Dave's favorite.
some big boy sets there. I'm excited.
I would be.
I have been having to use my private jet to fly to Canada to buy boxes lately because it's so expensive here. So when I'm there, I'll just pick up my boxes of the Canada only product. So, there you go. That's what I'll do.
The jet fuel's less than the box.
Yeah.
The box in the U.S.
Hey, I paid $1,000 on jet fuel, but I got my boxes for $10 cheaper.
Dave's all of a sudden my grandfather. He used to drive drive 60 miles for a $5 haircut.
My dad. Okay, so this is so funny. Quick side note story. My dad. This is when quite a while ago, but when gas prices went kind of crazy through the roof in California, and he was driving 30 minutes because gas in this one particular city that was 30 minutes away was cheaper. We sat down with my dad and did the math with him, and he realized he was spending more money driving out there and wasting the buy to gas than it cost. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. So Dad, if you're listening, that was fantastic when you were driving to Oxnard to buy gas for cheaper and you didn't realize you were spending more money to do it.
That's funny.
Oh, I love it.
Anyways.
All right.
Sorry.
Personal pickups.
Yeah.
Dave.
Woo. Do I have any? Did I send you any?
Yeah, you did.
Sure did, buddy.
How many did I send you?
3.
Okay. Excellent. What about I?
I'll surprise you with what you sent me. Number
He was
1.
like, what did I get?
Oh, yes. Okay. So I opened my second box of extended and I pulled a 25. Okay. Yeah. 25-26 extended. I pulled the Killer Keepers card of Mackenzie Blackwood. Now, Mackenzie Blackwood, not like the greatest name on the checklist, but just pulling this card, I was so pumped because I love this design. I love the acetate with the raised goalie mask and the raised Killer Keepers on the bottom. Such a sick card. Sorry if you're watching and you want to buy this card for me. Too bad. This is going in my PC. So
too bad, so sad.
Oh boy.
I'm keeping this card in my top loader binder. I already logged it and it's already in my top loader binder.
Logged it, done. Sorry, it's
done.
Closed it, people.
Not moving. So cool card. All right, what's next? What else did I send you?
What else did I get?
Oh yeah, this card's awesome. 22-23 Parkhurst champions. This is the Anze Kopitar blue auto out of 15. We talk all the time about card designs and perfect looking hockey cards. This to me is one of the most perfect looking hockey cards. You got him in his black uniform. It's a blue card with the blue border, with blue numbering, with a blue auto. The auto is perfect. He's got a nice number 11 next to it. Maybe if the card, this is number 10 of 15. So if I had 11 of 15, that would make it more perfect. But awesome hockey card. And it was cheap.
Numbers
It was
on the front.
$50. Yeah, numbering on the front.
That's
So,
it?
$50 I bought that for on ComC.
Recently?
Wow.
Yeah, like a month. Well, how long ago did I buy that?
That's crazy.
I
That's
bought
probably
it. I had to send it to me, so it's probably like 3 months ago that I bought it.
okay. All right. So before retirement, so you had a little bit of a premium on it, but not much. But that's still cheap, all things considered.
Crazy, right?
Well, congratulations. That's a good
Yeah.
card for your PC. The rest of your PC, I don't understand, but that's a good one for yours.
Don't worry, I understand it, and that's all you need to know. So.
Exactly.
All right, number
All right,
three.
what else did I add to my PC?
What else did I-
Okay. Actually, I am adding this to my PC. So I did a submission with PSA. I graded 11 cards from a Series 2, 24-25 Series 2. I opened a case over Christmas. So this was right before the massive boom. I got this case for super cheap. The boxes were like $125 a box. Opened the case. I pulled a Celebrini Young Guns, obviously. I only pulled one, but I graded it. This was probably one of the most perfect hockey cards I've ever submitted for grading. I combed this over and it was perfect. I had no doubt in my mind that this was going to come back a 10. I also had a who's the player on your team there, Neil? The guy that, maybe comes in a little overweight and
Michkov?
Oh yeah, Michkov. Yeah, that's him. Michkov. He I actually pulled his card too. And his Young Guns, I got a PSA 10 on that one, which I was happy about because I actually thought that one was going to be a 9.
Because it's
So
the only way you're going to move it.
Yeah. So I'm actually keeping the Celebrini. I actually think it does have a little bit of room to grow, and so I'm going to keep it, and I like it. So there you go.
Well, when it's my
Sweet.
birthday, you
My
can
birthday.
just, I'll take the Michkov for you. So it makes room for the Celebrini. I'll take the Michkov for my birthday and you can.
Okay. I have an Alper Silver Michkov.
Oh, okay. 10?
Do you have one? No, it's a 9.
No, I don't have them graded. I'm not a graded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it
Neil!
fit your top loader binder?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, it's my first shield ever.
You see the name I gave it? I gave it Neil Sean Couturier.
Neil Sean Corduroy. What is
Did
it?
I
What
not
is-
spell it right?
No,
Oh, whatever.
You didn't. Look,
I'll
it's
fix
right
it.
there.
There's
Anyway.
an E somewhere in there and missing.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Couturier.
Whatever.
But yeah, yeah, this was a card that I picked up recently. It hit the market. I've been collecting for 4 years, have not seen a shield like this appear. There's some out there, or one that's like a manufactured patch or a player worn one, but not a game worn one. So I was kind of drooling at this one when it came up. And I mean, Louis and I were talking months back when he got his Nico one, and I was just saying how jealous I was that I have never seen one show up since this did. And yeah, I jumped on it. There was no questions asked. It was, well, there are many questions asked, like, can you lower the price, please? There were many
Yeah,
questions asked.
It was listed for quite a sum of money. So
Quite a sum.
yes.
And yeah, got it back down again to a more price.
Yeah.
So yeah, love this card. This is such a I felt like it's a milestone for me with getting this into my PC. So yeah, very, very happy with it. It's kind of made me have pause, so that's why I have only one to share, because this has made me pause for a little bit.
Okay.
Well, it's a mic drop card for your PC. So
Thank you. Yeah.
very beautiful.
Yes.
And finally, me. I actually have one. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Really?
Well, I've been in such a lull, and
Yes.
then I decided, hey, I'm gonna go after this little rainbow stature Heisher thing, like I did with my Madanos. So
Yeah.
picked up a 1920 stature auto green out of 65, and I am now, because I picked up the patch a while ago, and I just picked up the base not numbered one, so I'm 3/5, I guess, of the way there. I got the
Very
blue
nice.
and the red to go. So,
Very nice. I like it.
oh my God, we made it.
We did
We
it.
did it. did
Yay. We didn't get in trouble. Nobody died. We didn't
Not
get
yet.
canceled.
We'll find
We
out.
kept getting booted.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I reset my computer and that worked. So I should have done that after the first time.
Good.
Oh, well.
Okay. Well, if you liked the episode, please leave a rating or a review on Apple, Spotify, or whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you loved the show, I know you did. Love Dave, love Neil, and would like to support us and want to chat with us on the Hockey Cards Gong Show Discord server, please consider a $5 a month donation on our Patreon. The link is in the show description. It's in our Instagram profile, or you can search Hockey Cards Gong Show on the Patreon website. You can follow us on social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast is a production of Dollar Box LLC. Somebody say the next part. It'd be weird if I did it.
Baba Louie, take us out.
Bye.
That music button.
Hockey cards on fire, no holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go. Wanna say them in show.
Is it weird that I've developed emotional feelings for my cat?
Suck it, Trebek.